Welcome to VSB News Online for Wednesday, September 2nd. I'm Peter Cattell. The police have published 6 photos that they hope may enable them to identify the person who made the bomb threat to the Bank of Butterfield's Rosebank branch on August 12th, which led to a wide-scale evacuation of the busy financial district of the city. The photos, 3 from a CCTV camera and 3 from the ATM at the Heron Bay Plaza, show the suspect, who is wearing a distinctive burgundy hooded top and riding a bike that appears to be a silver-gray Yamaha Cygnus with an unusual metal basket not associated with this make. Anyone with any information is asked to call Detective Inspector Colin King of the CID on 247-1252. Works Minister Craig Canair, who inherited the controversial redevelopment of the Botanical Gardens from his PLP predecessor, is nevertheless convinced it is the right thing to do, despite the Supreme Court ruling that has placed a temporary injunction on the work.
We have never officially been approached by the Take Back Our Parks team. I don't think there are any winners here. What's being looked at doing there is just replacing the old facility that existed since the 1940s. So there's some perceptions that there's some new things going on there, and that's not the case at all. This ministry is seeking to get the facility upgraded that existed already. There's no winners at this point in time. Our workers are working under some very stressful conditions at Marsh Folly, and I'm very much concerned about that. So I'd like to see us move on because we need to get our people into a position to be able to perform their function for the public. And I think that that's at jeopardy right now with the conditions that they're working in.
In retrospect, do you think there should have been more of a kind of public campaign?
You know, I'm trying to recall back as to exactly what took place. This, of course, started out before us as an administration, the OBA. So, you know, we've been taking a look at some of the history. I do know that when the works were put out, there was no write-ins to object to what was being proposed at the time. So works were proceeded as far as planning is concerned. Whether or not we can say that more consultation could have taken place, I think that will pan out as it goes through court. If you take a look at the site years back, if you Google it, you can see that the public never even saw what was there because it was well hidden. And the intent, again, is to ensure that what is built there, again, will be well hidden. The public will not see it. It's only now that we've excavated that people actually are aware of what was there, or maybe now what's not there. But so our concern is to move forward. We're looking to progress. The upgrade there was much needed. The facilities were really bad, and this perception that there's going to be trucks going back and forth, taking water and the likes and creating noise, those are all perceptions. That's not the case at all.
On the rather pleasant side, it means that the people really care about the botanical gardens. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes. Absolutely. Again, I appreciate the fact that there are groups out there who are concerned about what we are doing, but we have not officially been approached by this Take Back Our Park group, nothing official at all. However, they have put out some misperceptions, and we need to address those, and we have. If we need to continue to address them, then we will.
The city of Hamilton will be playing an important role in the 35th America's Cup, particularly as far as the World Series in October is concerned. But in view of the financial problems it has inherited, we asked Mayor Charles Gosling if the new corporation was wishing it had been able to start with a clean slate.
I had the pleasure the other day of opening up Ewing Street back for the public. Yeah. That project there cost the corporation over $1 million to do. I would have thought that we could have done something a little less expensive and to have a little bit more money aimed at the America's Cup project. In defense of the previous team, the work on Ewing Street started prior to them being aware of America's Cup, but at some time I think they could have said that the cloth needs to be cut accordingly. But we are talking about making a very significant investment in, well, the potential of making a very large investment in our Wi-Fi infrastructure with the city to make us capable there. I've been talking with the city secretary of arranging that the parks, of which that would have the park at number 5, as well as the streets, and particularly those little areas on the sidewalks where the trees are growing, and right now you are rubbing your knees against the weeds there, that we take care of those things accordingly, and that we are fully aware that the eyes of the world are on us and that the city has responded accordingly.
You're very proud of your city, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, we have over 200 years of history here. It is through the reinsurance industry. It is one of the capitals of reinsurance in the world. We have been one of the world's capitals in terms of tourism. I think that the Bermuda entrepreneur, the Bermuda capitalist, has led the way in so many different ways in the world, and it is a shame that we are right now staggering under a ever-increasing load, and with people who should be offering assistance and helping us get there just standing by with their hands in their pockets.
A comprehensive program is planned for next week to show the aged and others how to adapt their homes for the future. The newly named Aging and Disability Services Accessibility Officer, Keith Simmons, says a universal design seminar and trade show will afford homeowners the opportunity to access products and materials that will help them avoid becoming future prisoners in their own homes.
We'll have promote their services and products that can make your house very accessible, that doesn't look like a hospital. Beautiful design. We'll be bringing a gentleman in from the U.S. that's going to be doing the seminars, and it's going to be promoting everyday products off the shelf, not no special price. We can go from low end if you want to high end of how you can make yourself house livable for everyone, no matter what age or what ability. And he will also be doing a seminar on the costing of possibly making your house livable to everyone in the family, from birth to death.
How do you take a normal residence and say, make it wheelchair accessible and all that? I mean, that's quite a tricky situation.
Well, Bermuda, we tend, with our building codes now, that we now have new building codes that came into place on January the 15th this year. But a lot of our doorways, our standard doorways, do really match up with that code. A lot of them do. Some don't, but a lot of them do. Some areas, Bermuda is flat, which is not too bad. We can easily ramp, we can show you how to ramp one step or two. Some houses are built in the hill, so we tend to look at, I go out myself and do assessments for folks, and we try to look at making one entrance at least accessible for as you age, because we have found there are some people that are prisoners in their home, built their houses on split levels or whatever, and they've had a stroke or different things like that, and over time, their mobility becomes limited. They get stuck in one part of their house.
And we'll be back with more news right after this.
The Marketplace Food Court is you and your family's one-stop shop. Start your day at the breakfast bar with omelets made to order and traditional Bermuda codfish breakfast. The chefs will cook lunch and dinner to your liking. Along with the salad bar, sandwich bar, sushi bar, and fruit bar, the Marketplace Food Court is your kitchen away from home. Every day is hassle-free with nutritious meals from the Marketplace Food Court. Visit us 7 days a week. Homemade cooking, quality service, all at prices you can count on.
Traffic was disrupted on Middle Road between S Hill and Valley Road Paget last night when an accident was caused by a police chase. The details are that around 8:16 p.m., police conducting inquiries near Ord Road attempted to stop a male suspect. He refused to stop, and during the subsequent chase, he collided with another motorcycle and fled the scene on foot. Police searched for the man into the late night. There were no injuries as a result of the accident. The Department of Parks will be offering their annual Movies in the Park this Saturday and Sunday as part of the Labor Weekend celebrations. The free Moonlight movie series takes place at the Botanical Gardens from 6 p.m., with 2 films being featured each night at 8:30 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. Producer Eugene Dean tells us what to expect.
This year we've decided to do Saturday and Sunday evening, and we're going to have double features each night. It will be right down in the Lower Camden Lawn. It's beautiful there, natural amphitheater. We're going to have food vendors, you know, we have some competitions, we have some giveaways, and we also have a nice playland there for the kids as well, popcorn and all. So everyone just really come out, bring your chairs, bring your blankets, you know what I mean, bring your family and friends. Yeah, and it's free. Yeah, and everyone's invited. So what we really appreciate about the event and what I appreciate about the relationship we have developed with the Parks Department is that there's a real, I guess, interest in being able to utilize the parks for the benefit of the community, you know? And what's happened is that since we started doing the Moonlight movie series in 2008, the Parks Department has recognized that people really love this event. And so, you know, every year we have done everything we can to make sure that it's, you know, that it happens, you know. Everybody's aware of the austerity measures that governments had to take over the years, and, you know, there's been concerns about programs falling off. So, again, we're thankful that we've still been able to get support from the department to go forward, so.
Right. Tell me about the movies. Which ones have you chosen?
Yeah, so we've chosen some really good films this year. We actually have 2 Disney films that are being shown each night. The first one is called Descendants. It's a kids movie. It's really nice. It's taking like some of these superheroes and it's talking about their children, and they have this experience like, you know, going to school and things of that nature. So that's real fun. Then there's another one on Saturday night called The Duff. And that's another one that's kind of focused around a high school scenario. It's a PG-13, it's a comedy movie. The second night we have a real strong family movie called McFarlane USA. It's starring Kevin Costner. This movie's gotten rave reviews from everyone who's seen it. It's about an experience that he had in a Mexican community. So real positive movie. It's a drama and it's kind of around sports. So we encourage people to come out for that. And then on Sunday evening we have Insurgent, which is your action, high sci-fi type movie as well. So we have a bit of everything. The first one on Saturday, Descendants, is more of an adventure, and then we have a comedy, then we have like a family drama, and then we have a real action sci-fi movie. So we have something for everyone.
Premier Michael Dunkley gave a spirited response to questions about Bermuda's tax regime when questioned on CNBC's Closing Bell program during his weekend visit to London. Here's an excerpt of the TV interview.
The island of Bermuda is often in the news due to its reputation as a tax haven. Back in 2013, it was revealed that Google had channeled 8.8 billion euros in royalty payments to the nation. Bermuda's premier has been in the UK meeting with government officials here. The Atlantic island of Bermuda is often in the news due to its reputation as a tax haven. Back in 2013, it was revealed that Google had channeled 8.8 billion euros in royalty payments to the nation. Bermuda's premier has been in the UK meeting with government officials here. Seema caught up with him earlier this week and asked him about the state of the economy after it recently emerged from a 6-year recession.
The tourism industry has been a strength of our economy for many years. Coupled with that, we've developed a very robust international business economy, mainly centered around insurance and reinsurance, and Bermuda is considered the 3rd largest hub for reinsurance behind London and New York. And I guess to tie all of that together, Bermuda's always been seen as a well-respected jurisdiction for its sophisticated infrastructure, its intellectual capital, and its fine regulatory environment. So while we have challenges in the world today, there's a lot of oversight and transparency required, we feel we're in a good position to meet those challenges and move forward.
We've seen a number of companies relocate to Bermuda because of tax incentives. Do you see Bermuda continuing to be a destination for these large companies, or do you see that changing given the regulatory pressures from around the world?
Yeah, I think what we will see is we'll continue to see businesses expressing an interest to be in Bermuda because of the reputation that we have and because what we offer at the table. Our tax system is different from other jurisdictions. We're based more on a consumption tax module. So all goods that are imported are dutiable at a certain rate, and we have a payroll tax of 14%. But what attracts people to Bermuda is our location. So today, if we are sitting in Bermuda, you can do business in Bermuda with the New York market and the London market. And as I mentioned, the sophisticated infrastructure and intellectual capital and our fine regulatory oversight. We vet all company applications very diligently through the registrar of companies and the Bermuda Monetary Authority. So we're very comfortable with our approach. We believe in transparency and accountability, and the companies that come to Bermuda expect to have that oversight.
And now we turn to Earl Baisden with the latest from the sports desk.
The Bermuda Tourism Authority and the National Sports Center have formalized a new sports tourism partnership that was revealed yesterday that is bearing fruit for local tourism economy, particularly between September and March. We spoke with Pat Philip Farron, the Chief Product and Experience Development Officer for the Bermuda Tourism Authority, to ask why the national sports governing bodies of the sports mentioned, who have been doing this for a number of years, were not mentioned in the press release.
That's the next phase, yes. We wanted to establish the partnership with the facility itself, and we've been in discussions with Bernie for quite some time about doing that. So now that we have that and we've got that solidified, we can go out to other partners and other stakeholders to see how we can build further on the business and the interest that we've already built. This is part of our sports tourism strategy, and it's a key part because we see sports tourism as being very important to help us address seasonality. So looking at what we have in terms of facilities for sports, the National Sports Center is a natural area for us to focus on. The facility itself is sanctioned by relevant sporting bodies for collegiate sports and professional sports. And so as a partner in helping us to drive visitation for sports tourism purposes, it just made a lot of sense for us to collaborate. We always get a feedback around the winter months and spring break in particular, and people talk about college weeks and remember how successful Bermuda was in the past with that. But we can't compete today in the arena of college weeks as it is today. Our weather is different, it's counter-seasonal to a Cancun or Caribbean or what have you. We can compete very strongly as far as sports tourism is concerned. We have the facilities now. We have sports teams on island that can provide good competition. We have proximity to some really key target markets that can spend 2 hours or an hour and a half getting here as opposed to 4 hours.
During the Commonwealth Games Federation meeting in New Zealand earlier today, history was made. The Commonwealth Games Federation members elected their first female president, Louise Martin from Scotland. Vice President-elects were Bruce Robertson from Canada, Gideon Sam from South Africa, and Kieran Smith from New Zealand. Bermuda Olympic Association's General Secretary, Philip Guichard, was re-elected to the Commonwealth Games Federation Sports Committee. Members also selected Durban to be the first African city to host the Commonwealth Games after being confirmed as the venue for the 2022 Games. The city on the east coast of South Africa was the only remaining bidder after Edmonton's bid team withdrew in February for financial reasons. The Games will begin on July 18th, what would have been the 104th birthday of former South African President Nelson Mandela, and will finish on July 30th. It will be the 22nd staging of the event, which is held every 4 years. Meanwhile, the water quality at the sailing venue for the 2016 Rio Olympics needs improving, but will be totally clean by next summer, the president of the organizing committee is quoted as saying. 2 sailors from South Korea and Germany have contracted infections while sailing in there during a training event, which they claim came from the waters. Recent tests of the waters that will stage the sailing event have revealed high levels of bacteria and viruses coming from human sewage. A day after the first round of the Myrtle Beach World Amateur Golf Tournament was washed out, the 9 Bermuda golfers took to the course in Florida among over 3,300 golfers from 48 states and 28 countries. Kevon Trott is tied 7th after shooting an opening round net of 72, competing in the mid-senior men's 60-69 Flight 41 division. Robert Coddington is in 38th after shooting 82 in the same division. Competing in the senior men's 50-59 Flight 15 division is Keith Trutt, who finds himself tied 35th after shooting 82, while Wayne Greaves is tied 19th, competing in the senior men's 50-59 Flight 26 division after his round of 78. Gary Venning, competing in the mid-senior men's 60-69 Flight 54 division, ended his round tied 24th after shooting 79, while Richard Marriott finished tied 17th, competing in the men's 49 and under Flight 17 division with a round of 79. Tracy Burgess is tied 5th and Ann Simons is tied 32nd, competing in the women's division Flight 67. Burgess shot a 74 and Simons shot a 83. Competing in the women's division Flight 68, Ann Mitchell is tied 19th after her round of 80. Isaiah McLeod's first goal for the club set Notts County on their way to a 3-1 victory over Reggie Lamb and his Mansfield Town teammates in the St. Johnstone Paint Trophy match last evening. Lamb was an unused substitute for Mansfield. Freshman Denisha Blackwood scored a hat-trick to lead Navarro College women's soccer team to a 4-0 non-conference victory over Richland College at Richardson Stadium. Freshman and Bermudian Aliyah Nolan scored the other Navarro College goal and assisted on 2 of Blackwood's goals. Deval Whaley and his Vermont Central High School football teammates looked to start the season with a win, but when the Westbrook Bruins needed an answer to the Central offense, it was Innes Gaines who gave them one. With his team leading 20-17, late in the fourth quarter, the senior defensive back intercepted his second pass of the game off of Central's quarterback to prevent the wild finish. The Westbrook defense held Central running back Star Whaley to 45 yards and 1 touchdown on 18 carries. I'm Earl Baisden reporting for VSB Sports.
Looking at the weather for Thursday, September 3rd, there will be sunny breaks with a few showers and a risk of thunderstorms. Winds will be southwesterly, light to moderate, backing south-southwesterly by evening, increasing to moderate around showers. We are expecting a high near 84 Fahrenheit and a low near 77 Fahrenheit. This weather forecast is courtesy of the Bermuda Weather Service. Thank you for watching VSB News Online for Wednesday, September 2nd. I'm Peter Kitzel.